What else do you want to ask, Georgia? Did you know Hannah grew up on an island? No? Do you want to ask her about that?
It's a big island.
What was it? What was the name of it?
It was a very big island. The island was as big as New Jersey and Minnesota put together.
Really?
Oh, yes.
It's that big. Tell Georgia what it's called.
It was that big.
Tell Georgia what it's called. She doesn't know.
It took 2 days to go from where the point where there were several ways you could go, to the island. The last time I went, Ronnie drove us to a certain point, and then we took a boat, and that takes. When I was growing up, that took 6 hours to go across. That was the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence,
You've heard of the Gulf of St. Lawrence?
Yes, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Maine, We know about the Gulf of St. Lawrence.
Well, anyway, and then we got off at a place called Port Basque, and that was the first tip of Newfoundland. And we drove to a place called Corner Brook, all one day. Took us Corner Brook, and we put up there, and the next day we reached Elsie's house. 2 days to drive that far. Yeah, people think Newfoundland is smaller. It's a big island.
It's big, you're right.
I've never seen not even quarter of it.
Really?
Not even quarter of it, no.
Did you live near the water?
Yes, this is our kitchen table, like with this, and we could just look at the Atlantic Ocean.
That's nice.
When I was born, we were born right on the beach. Our house was right on the beach, but they had built a new house, and my mother had died, and my father didn't want to move into the new house, so we didn't go into it for a while. But that was up a little piece, but not far from the water, It's still near the water. Yeah, born right on the water.
Cool.
So that's what I said. People will say, how come you never went on a cruise? I said, for 26 years I didn't see anything but water, and I had enough of it. Because we went everywhere by boat,
Yeah.
But there was no roads.
No roads at all?
Just kind of paths that you walked.
Really?
No automobiles. I never saw an automobile, only a picture, till I came here.
Really?
No.
What year was that?
It was 37.
1937. And so if you wanted to go by land, how did you go?
We didn't.
You didn't take a horse or a cart or something like that?
No, well, it was, it was paths. There was no roads paved or anything.
So you had to walk?
Yes, we walked.
You walked?
Oh, yes, we could walk from village to village. Sure.
And how long did it take you to get to the next village?
Each village was at least 4 miles from apart,
Really?
But, like, we were here, and then the English Harbor, was the name of the place, was next, and it was 4 miles apart. And one day, or once I did this, I walked to English Harbor, back home to my house, and the next place was 4 more miles that way. And I walked that too, and danced all night and walked home in the morning.
Did you? You danced all night? Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, I always danced till daylight.
Did you have country bands, like with fiddles?
They were all square dances, but there was nothing two-step. Two people never danced together.
It was all in lines, like reels and contra dances?
Well, you had a partner, and then you faced another partner.
Yeah.
You're taking that.
I am, yeah. I love that kind of dancing. I've only done it a couple of times, but it's so much fun.
Our dances weren't called. We knew them.
Did you?
Now, Peggy goes to square dances, but they call them.
Right.
No, we knew every step.
And who played the music?
Well, we paid a man from another settlement, and we paid him $5 each for an evening. And then the first time I went back, they had a 5-piece band, paying him $100.
Yeah. So
that was 34 years. I never went back until I had been here 34 years the first time I went back.
Wow, that's a long time.
It made the headlines.
And did it really?
Yeah.
Up there?
Yeah.
In the paper?
In the paper.
It said Hannah Lamb Blagden
and
her sisters come back for a visit or something?
Yes.
Oh, how nice.
Something like that, yeah.
What was the paper called? The newspaper?
It was the free press, like now.
It's called Newfoundland.
Well, I lived in I was living in Somerville at that time.
Yes.
Yeah, but I guess it was still called the Free Press.
So it's called the Newfoundland Free Press.
Yeah. No, it was this paper. The American
the
paper.
Somerville paper had an article.
The American paper.
Oh, I thought it was the
Yep.
Islands paper that had a new article.
But we didn't go right where we were born then. We just went to St. John's, which is the capital, because my sister was visiting there, and we went and saw her there. My two sisters and I, the three of us went and saw Elsie, the one that just died now. You know. She was there visiting with her husband, and we went there.
What did the man play who used to play the dances?
Accordion.
Oh, really? He didn't play a fiddle?
Yes, we would get one once in a great while that played the violin, but mostly it was accordion.
How
But
interesting.
then as the years went on, one of my cousins started to play for the dances. But we loved the accordion music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what sorts of songs did he play? Do you remember the names?
Different tunes, you know. It was well, we had books with the tunes in it, you know.
You know, Hannah, I should show you some books that my mother gave me that belonged to her grandfather. So my great-grandfather was a Nova Scotia-style fiddler.
Yeah.
And he had books full of the fiddle tunes that he used to play from because my great-grandfather and my Nana, who was his daughter, and my great-uncle, who was my Nana's brother. So my grandma Hazel and Hazel's brother, my great-uncle Carl, and their father Willis used to play the country dances up on the coast of Maine.
Oh.
So Willis played the fiddle, and his daughter, my Nana, played the piano, and Nana's brother, Carl, played the drums.
Oh.
And they used to play the contra dances, and so my mother gave me these books from, I think they're from the 1800s, that belonged to my great-grandfather Willis. And they're tunes like Jenny Lind, I think, is one of them, and I don't know, I'll show you. They've got all the old fiddle tunes in them, and I bet you the Nova Scotia tunes are the same, more or less, as the Newfoundland
Well, you
tunes.
know, they never pronounced B-O-Y as boy. It was by.
Bye.
By, they called it.
Really?
And one of the songs is, on to buy that built the boat, and on to buy the driver, on to buy the catch the fish and bring it home to Liza. That was the one of the, I remember that was the beginning of it, you know. And some of my cookbooks has some of the songs. A lot of the Girl of Logie Bay was one.
Did you like to see the sunrise?
Was we?
Did you like to watch the sunrise?
Yes, we had to get up
Very
very
early.
early because we had to milk the cows before they took off for the day. They came home in the evening to be milked, you know, and then they'd lie around the roads all night.
So they
That's the only thing you were afraid of down there. You fell over a cow. And we had sheep.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to feed them. Our sheep, for some reason, never had single lambs. They always had twins.
Did they?
Yeah, and I would put the kitchen, like our house was here and the barn was not very far away, you know, and I would put up the kitchen window and they would hear me putting up the window and they would come. Because
Really?
I'd have a bottle in each hand. Because the sheep sometimes couldn't feed two lambs.
Right.
She would take care of one, but, you know, two. And, of course, we wanted them fattened up.
Right. Right. Is this making you uncomfortable? You're doing fine.
No, it's not that. I don't. I'm at a point that I don't. Yeah, those lambs. But now they have the house. Of course, our house now, when we were down there 2 years ago, it's in as good a condition as it was when we left there.
Really? That's
It's been
nice.
sold, of course.
Yeah.
And that window that I used to feed the lambs through, they took that window out and they have cabinets there. But we had a pantry when I was living there. So that took care of our dishes and stuff, you know. But now they have cabinets there. But you know, they don't think of anything. Just sit and watch the waves coming in because they were born with it and it isn't any novelty to them.
Right.
But anyway, after you've been away a lot of years, I know I had this friend Olive, and I went to visit her. She's about 4 miles from us. I went to visit her when I was down, and she has her table up against a blank wall, nothing, like, you know. And I said, Olive, why don't you have your table there so you can watch the waves in a storm, you know, coming in? And she said, oh, we're so used to that. We're sick of looking at it. Yeah, it was fun to go back. Yeah.